Laura McAlpine, Labour candidate for Harlow. So, firstly, how are things going?
Well, they're going really well, actually. It's difficult times. People are really frustrated with most politicians, most political parties, let's be honest. But I think the fact that I'm actually from Harlow, the fact that I went to the schools here, Little Pardon and Burnt Mill, it seems to be going down really, really well on the doorstep. But, when at the market stalls today, you've just seen somebody that came over and said, keep up the good work. I think people want real change, and they don't want a politician that's been parachuted in, somebody that studied politics at university, and so I'm that person. I'm the regular woman from Harlow, and I genuinely really want to see change.
There's probably a stereotype, which may be unfair, and you can counter that, that when you're going to the doorsteps, that people are actually going, "Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, buzz off." But is that happening at all? Is that not happening? Or?
Not so much, actually. That's what you'd probably gather from the news. But not really. I'm so focused on Harlow, and you've probably seen on my website I've got a manifesto, Love Harlow, which is all about Harlow, bringing back the play schemes, investing in local communities, housing for local people, all of those really important things that people care about. So actually, when people meet me and I say, look, I am just like you, it does seem to be going down really well. So it's less about what's happening nationally, but more about me and what I can do for Harlow, with the people of Harlow.
Do you think people really miss those things, whether you're of a certain age, like 57 or whatever, or much younger? Those things like play schemes, that part of the infrastructure, even probably the Bobby on the Beat, are people really missing those?
Massively so. Whenever I talk about play schemes, people on the doorstep say, well, one, they say you don't look old enough, but it's probably because of my very high-pitched voice, but I am old enough. I used to go to...
Do you really actually remember Saturday morning pictures?
Absolutely. I used to queue at Odeon Cinema, and you've obviously seen that in the film. I'm 34 years old, so I remember Saturday morning pictures. But yeah, people say, oh, what play scheme did you go to? We need something for our children in Harlow. The last 10 years especially, and I'm sorry, it's due to Conservative cuts to our councils and from funding from central government as well. But we've seen all of our youth services disappear, the play schemes, we've seen connections, we've lost the square. These are vital services that the children of Harlow and the people of Harlow really benefited from before. So absolutely, yeah, that comes up.
Outside schools like Little Pardon, outside St Albans yesterday, what's the feedback from parents?
First of all, I think they quite like the fact that we're there and we're there to listen, but we're also highlighting the fact that their school has faced these cuts. You don't really hear about it, but each primary school has lost around £500,000 of funding, and they are seeing, the consequences of that. They've lost staff. People with, SEND children are really struggling as well, and they're worried about, are their children getting the special care and attention that they deserve and that they need. Also, it's quite often that teachers are asking parents to bring in materials, and this is 2019. This just shouldn't be happening, and it doesn't need to happen, but it's simply because of the cuts, and we've got teachers that will back me up on that as well.
Finally, 7,031, that's a hell of a mountain to climb in that gap.
Not for me.
You think you can do it?
Absolutely. People are so frustrated with what has happened to this town in the last 10 years. And who has been the MP? Robert Halfon. Robert Halfon has consistently voted against the interests of the people of this town. He voted for legislation which allowed developments like Terminus House, and that was just in 2013. He's voted for these cuts to our local councils. He says that he wants to save our libraries in Parliament, but then he votes for cuts to our local councils. So he will say one thing to the people of Harlow, and he will do the absolute opposite in Parliament. So we need somebody from the town that is willing to properly represent the town.